What's up, everybody? Lou here, back on the show floor at PAX East 2022. We are here with Matt, the CEO of Whitethorn Games, to talk about APICO. Wait till you hear about this one. Thanks for taking some time this afternoon to talk about it.
Happy to chat anytime.
What is APICO?
Yeah, so APICO is a beekeeping game. Basically, if you've played automation games like Factorio or the forestry mod for Minecraft, you're gonna be really familiar really quickly. Sort of a two-dimensional, pixelated little world where you collect resources like bees themselves, flowers, wood, and build a bee colony. It's a co-op game. You can play with your friends, up to 4 online. Yeah, that's it.
Very, very unique concept and really interesting. We'll get into it in just a little bit. So in terms of the overall concept of the project, you see a lot of those kinds of games where you have all these kinds of things going on and keeps you busy. Why bees specifically?
Yeah, so the developer, and well, first of all, as a brand, we're very into approachability and ease. So many of the automation games are focused on combat, right? Like you're building turrets, there's aliens or something trying to murder you, a la Factorio. But the whole brand thesis of our publishing house is that there's enough murder. Like, not that we dislike them. I mean, I'm playing Elden Ring and getting murdered right now. But you know, there's a lot of those games. So when it's time to have a glass of bourbon or some tea and just kind of relax, that's what we like to provide. So beekeeping's one of those things that's very hobbyist, right? We have games about things like botany and about, you know, walking in nature. And so it very much fit with our brand. The developer himself is really interested in bees because he's sort of like an earth hippie like myself, and really just bees are important. No bees, no food. We'd all die. Like, we literally rely on them to exist. So as a part of that, he also gives a small percentage of the profits, I think it's about 10, to a beekeeping conservatory in the United Kingdom. He's a UK developer. Okay. Yeah.
Very cool. Now, can you tell us a little more about how this game specifically kind of came under your umbrella and kind of its journey through development now that it's just about out the door publishing?
Yeah, so we actually followed him on Twitter a million years ago and just harassed him endlessly until he joined our publishing. That was pretty much it. We as a publisher tend to be pretty gentle in our cut, and also, I mean, the brand is relevant. There's brand cohesion there, and I think that's really important. Tons of indie publishers, a lot of good friends. We got the Furies right behind us, like lots of good folks. We just try to really land on the same kind of brand every time. Like, we want consistency. Like, if you played Calico, you're gonna like Lake, you're gonna like APICO, you're gonna like Witchwood. Like, we really want that brand consistency. So that's a big part of what we do. And I think once I gave him that pitch, he was sort of like, oh, this is, yeah, makes sense. So
match made in heaven. So when you talk about that sort of brand consistency, that kind of intrigued me. How difficult is it from your perspective to find titles out there, maybe independently or however they come to your attention, to build that sort of cohesion and to make your company known for one particular kind of game or one particular kind of experience across multiple titles?
Yeah. So I always believe that people buy brands, right? I previously worked in business intelligence and analytics at PlayStation, and people get brand affinity, even if it makes no sense, right? Like, you think about PlayStation versus Xbox stuff, which is largely silly, but people get really, really into the brand. People buy brands. And so it was really important for us that a customer that buys something that we put out kind of expects and knows that they'll like what it is because they've liked other titles. That also encourages cross-buy, you know, like buy 1, buy 5. That said, it is a little hard because we have to turn down a whole lot of very good, beautiful games. Like, we'll get something that's like a shooter or a MOBA, and it's like super hard and like beautiful. It can be like absolutely beautiful. Apex, like, just monstrous, perfect, beautiful AAA, and we have to be like, our customers are not gonna want this. Like, you know, it's sort of like advertising computer parts on ESPN. It's just a mismatch in expectations of the viewer. So we really do try to make sure that what we drive to people doesn't feel advertising-y. It's something that it feels curated, feels like a Netflix recommendation, less like an ad. And that can be difficult because it means we do have to turn away. Well, and we do try to hand them to our publishing friends. Like, you know what, like, this pulpy, slasher, brutal pixel thing is absolutely not us, but it really looks like a Devolver game. Do you want us to give you an intro? Like, that's, you know, it doesn't hurt us any when indies do well. So, yeah, but it does suck to turn people down. I mean, it hurts, right? I mean, you don't want to be like, because, you know, everybody's been an indie that's an indie publisher, and you get turned down and it's not great. But so I think we just have to be very selective. Our scouts, Brian in particular, is like really good at content planning and finding those kinds of experiences.
And one way to really tell whether something's resonating with your audience is bringing it to a show like PAX.
Yeah.
So has APICO been on the convention circuit kind of previously? And if not, if this is the first time, How have people sort of been reacting to it?
Yeah, we had a demo of it at West, PAX West, this most recent opening after COVID. That was a very scant conference, so we had far, far fewer people at the booth. But certainly, I mean, it's been one that people stay for a very long time. Even, honestly, to get you in there, I had to boot some people off, right? So they tend to, it's a sticky game. So it has that Minecraft one more block kind of effect where even though the game itself, I mean, it doesn't in any way punish you for just literally getting up and walking away. There really are no punishments in most of our games. It is one of those things that you do end up doing again and again and again because it's just like, I want to build a little more, and just that very zen kind of feeling to it. And I think there's something nice about, because I can do this in the garden or something. Like, I like to garden. So if I'm out there just like pruning plants, I can do that for like 3 hours and have completely lost that time. And there's something very mindful and nice about that. And that seems to resonate with the people that play it.
That's fantastic. And yeah, certainly seeing it here, it's sticky's a great word.
Yeah.
People really, really attach to it. There's some beep pun in there, I'm sure. So,
Sticky like honey. Yeah.
Exactly. So now that I think we had talked previously, it's pretty close to getting out the door. When can players get their hands on it, and on what platforms?
Yeah, so this should be available on every major console around the 20th of May, World Bee Day. So we'll put out a press release and proper announcement, but you heard it here.
Perfect timing. How about that? Well, thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you.
Keep it tuned here to Hypocritic for more from PAX East all weekend long.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. For more content from the Hypocritic crew, hit that subscribe button or visit us at hypocritic.gg.